Hello, everybody. I am Andrew Wagaman here from Andrew's Meteorology, and I just wanted to hop on here really quick to provide you with a presentation on spring weather safety, as I will be going over some different hazards and how to stay safe through the spring season. So, hopping right into it here, as we um, head through this presentation, we'll be going over some different spring weather hazards, which will include rip currents and beach hazards, tornadoes, thunderstorms, lightning, flooding, tsunamis, and heat. So, starting off with rip currents and beach hazards, beach flags help alert swimmers about potential dangers such as high surf or strong rip currents. Make sure if you are going to the beach to look for beach flags before you enter the water, and if ever caught in a rip current, make sure you swim parallel to the beach to escape. So here's actually a graphic of how rip currents actually work. So rip currents actually pull you out into the water, not under the water. Make sure you don't swim against the current. Make sure to swim out of the current, then to shore. And if you can't escape, make sure to float or tread water. And if you need help, yell or wait for assistance. Rip currents are actually powerful currents of water moving away from the shore, and they can sweep even the strongest swimmer away from the shore. And if at all possible, make sure you swim near a lifeguard or have somebody with you if you plan on going out into the water. So, other dangerous currents to keep in mind are longshore currents, outlet currents, tidal currents, structural currents, and you can learn more about these currents at weather.gov/safety/dangerous-currents. Moving on to tornadoes. Winds from tornadoes can exceed 200 miles per hour. Flying debris is very dangerous and most often the cause of death and injuries. Make sure you seek a sturdy shelter in a basement, storm shelter, or interior room away from windows on the lowest floor and cover your head. The most dangerous locations to be in during a tornado are mobile homes and vehicles. Some tornado products that are usually issued by the National Weather Service are tornado watches and tornado warnings. A tornado watch is issued when a tornado is possible, and that means to know your safe place, which is a storm shelter, basement, or interior hallway or interior hall away from windows, and be ready to act quickly if a warning is issued, and that means to be prepared. A tornado warning, on the other hand, is issued when a tornado is happening or about to happen, or if you've ever heard of the term radar indicated, like they usually issue a tornado warning, even if it's been like indicated by radar as tornadoes. Like if you're looking for a tornado on a radar, usually what happens is it forms something called a hook echo. And that hook echo indicates rotation within the storm. And that's where they get the term radar indicated, because that's what they're looking for whenever they look for a tornado on the radar. I mean, you can look up images of that on your own, but it's actually pretty cool, if you ask me. Here's actually a graphic. Have you ever noticed the wording, "This is a particularly dangerous situation," in some of the severe weather watches issued by the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center? This wording is actually used in tornado watches for rare situations when long-lived and intense tornadoes are likely. This enhanced wording may also accompany severe thunderstorm watches for widespread and exceptionally intense straight-line wind events. And make sure to be prepared. Review your severe weather safety procedures. Know the safest place to seek refuge ahead of time. And consider canceling or postponing outdoor activities. Have multiple ways to receive a warning and inform others of the heightened risk, like family members, so that way they're aware. Moving on to severe thunderstorms. Severe thunderstorms produce damaging wind and or large hail, along with lightning and tornadoes. Make sure to take shelter in a sturdy structure away from windows. A basement or cellar would be best. And being in a vehicle is actually safer than being outside. So if you're out and about, make sure you remain in your vehicle until the severe thunderstorm moves away from the region. Some severe thunderstorm products issued by the National Weather Service include severe thunderstorm watches and severe thunderstorm warnings. A severe thunderstorm watch is issued when a severe thunderstorm is possible, and that means to stay tuned to forecast updates, monitor sky conditions, and know where to take shelter, and that means to be prepared. And we're actually going to see that throughout this whole presentation. Basically, a watch means to be prepared, and a warning means to take action. So, a severe thunderstorm warning, on the other hand, is issued when a severe thunderstorm is happening or about to happen. And that means to take shelter immediately. Moving on to lightning. Since we talked about thunderstorms, all thunderstorms produce lightning. What a shocker. Lightning kills an average of 20 people every year, and take shelter inside a sturdy, enclosed structure. And a hardtop vehicle is also a safe location if you're out and about, or even as the previous slide on thunderstorms said, remaining in your vehicle is actually safer than being outside. So moving on to flooding. Flooding can be caused by snowmelt, ice jams, and heavy rain. We're actually dealing with that right now with our local waterways here around the Katanning area, as since the weather warmed up, it's caused a lot of ice jams and caused our water levels to rise, hence resulting in flash flood watches and warnings being issued across the region. Like I said, flooding can be caused by snowmelt, ice jams, and heavy rain. More than half of all flood fatalities are vehicle related. And one thing I have to emphasize here is to never drive into flooded roadways or around barricades. Do not drive through floodwaters. You're going to hear that over and over again. Moving on to snowmelt. Water stored in a snowpack goes into rivers when the snow melts in the spring and the weather starts to warm up. Spring flooding can affect large river basins. And never drive through floodwaters and obey road signs. I mean, come on, people. It is literally common sense. Ice jams. We just actually briefly talked about that a little bit here a couple slides ago, as we are having that issue with ice jams currently since the weather warmed up. So ice jam flooding occurs when chunks of ice build up and prevent water from flowing downstream, hence resulting in the water level to rise. This can lead to rapid rises upstream from the ice jam. And like I've already said, now for the third time, never drive through floodwaters. Moving on to heavy rain. Heavy rain on saturated soil can lead to flooding. More than half of all flood fatalities are vehicle related. It only takes 12 inches of rushing water to carry away a small car. And if you encounter floodwaters, make sure you turn around, don't drown, don't drive through floodwaters. So some flood products usually issued by the National Weather Service are flood watches and flood warnings. We also see like flash flood watches and flash flood warnings, flood advisories, but the most common ones are flood watches, flood warnings, and flood advisories. But we're only going to go over these two here on the screen. A flood watch is issued when flooding is possible, and that means to stay tuned to trusted news sources and be ready to seek higher ground, and that means to be prepared. A flood warning, on the other hand, is issued when flooding is happening or about to happen. Move to higher ground immediately and never drive or walk through floodwaters, and that means to take action. Moving on to tsunamis. A tsunami is one of the most powerful and destructive forces of nature. Make sure you know nature's warnings: strong or long earthquakes, sudden ocean rises or falls, or even ocean roar, as all of those can result in the formation of a tsunami. And respond to warnings. meaning move to higher ground or inland when necessary. Some tsunami products issued by the National Weather Service are tsunami watches and tsunami warnings. A tsunami watch is issued when a tsunami is possible. Know your evacuation route, have a plan, and be ready to act quickly if a warning is issued, and that means to be prepared. A tsunami warning is issued when a tsunami is happening or about to happen, and that means to move to higher ground or further inland immediately and to take action. Moving on to heat. Even in the spring, heat with or without humidity can take a toll on the body. Know the signs of heat illness. Types of heat illnesses include heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke. Reschedule outdoor work and strenuous activities for another day or for the coolest time of the day. And stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water. And I would have to say that's honestly the most important concept right there. Stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water. Because hydration and staying hydrated goes a long way. Continuing on with heat safety, sunburn and heat illness can be avoided by applying and reapplying sunscreen to protect your skin from sunburn, staying in air conditioning and out of the sun if possible. And one thing I do have to emphasize here is to never leave children, the elderly, or pets in parked unattended vehicles, and always check on the children, elderly, and pets as well as to make sure they're staying safe in the heat. So some heat products usually issued by the National Weather Service include excessive heat watches and excessive heat warnings. An excessive heat watch is issued when dangerous heat is possible. That means to reschedule outdoor activities in the coming days. Make sure that children, the elderly, and pets have a safe place to cool off during the heat, and that means to be prepared. Excessive heat warnings are issued when dangerous heat is happening or about to happen. Avoid heavy activity and direct sunlight. Stay hydrated, find a cool indoor place, and check on children, elderly, and pets, and that means to take action. So we have reached the end of our presentation, but if you have any questions throughout this presentation, you can actually send a private message directly into the page or even put it in the comments, and either way, I will get back to you. But here are some links that you can check out too for more information regarding rip currents, tornadoes, thunderstorms, lightning, flood, tsunamis, and heat. So all of those links there are from the National Weather Service and have neatly highlighted on their website some different ways on how you could stay safe in each of these different hazards. But that is currently all I have for you. Make sure you continue to stay tuned to our social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram. If you haven't given us a follow yet or a like, make sure you head on over and do that, as that will be greatly appreciated. And we also have a YouTube channel as well. I honestly haven't posted that many videos on that social media source, but it's there. You can subscribe to it. This presentation will actually be on there as well. So, but other than that, that is all I have for you, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this video. Bye, everybody.